You might remember last month, Will Fleury was in studio with us before the Bellator card at the 3 Arena. That was Bellator 217. You'll probably know by now that Will Fleury beat Sean Taylor with a rear naked choke in the second round with a submission in that one, and he's back with us in studio. Will, you're a much happier man now, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Pretty satisfied with life.
Because obviously with that defeat last year was a long period outside of the octagon, which was obviously the big thing that affected you. It wasn't so much the defeat, it was just the drought away from the sport. It was good to be back, but it was also good to be winning, I'd imagine.
Yeah, hugely, of course. Like, if I'd come back and lost this fight, it'd be a totally different buzz right now. But I did the work to win, and I went in and smashed it, so I'm delighted with that, obviously. He went to grapple, he shot in, I landed a knee into the chest, then a couple of big shots. See, the problem is I haven't actually been able to watch the fight back, which is frustrating.
Geo-blocked or something, is it?
Yeah, so unless you're in America, you can't watch it. Now, I'm sure there's ways of getting around that, but I haven't figured it out yet, so I haven't been able to watch it. But I landed some big shots on the feet then. I'd love to see them and just see how accurate they were, because they felt big, and he took them, but he was definitely rattled. And then he kept trying to engage for the takedown, kept going for it. He really pulled for it, Then I landed he pinned me to the fence early enough on, and I landed a lot of elbows to the side of his head. And one of them did catch the back of his head, so we got separated for that. Then I just came after him, and I was hunting him the whole fight, and he was surviving. I had him down at the end of the first and was landing some elbows as well. Just put a pace on him, basically,
He missed weight before the fight?
Yeah.
How much?
5 pounds.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot, yeah.
So how does a fighter miss by 5 pounds? Is it because he's just careless? Is it because did he not, right? It's hard to get into that mindset. I don't know why.
Yeah, look, I don't know is the bottom line. And I'm still trying to figure that out, whether he thought it'd be a mental advantage for him to come in overweight, or maybe he thought I wouldn't take it if he was that much overweight and he just didn't want to fight. But with that, he would have given up earlier, I think, in the fight, had he not wanted to be there, or had he not wanted to do it. He had plenty of opportunity, he got hit hard a couple of times, and that was his window out, So I think, he probably just wanted a bit of a mental edge, I don't know, but I was pretty enthusiastic about taking it as soon as he'd missed weight, so any mental edge he thought he had was gone then.
Yeah, I think the enthusiasm was pretty clear for all to see, including to the media afterwards. I'm interested to get you...
Up, yeah.
We can actually play some of this, just to actually give you a picture of how enthusiastic Will was.
There's always doubts when you're going to fight, man. You don't know the result. You're talking shit if you think you do. But no, look, I work incredibly hard in my training, since I believe in my performance, And I don't understand people who don't. My performance here is based on what I've done in the gym for the last 8 weeks, or even the last 9 years of training, and I've never left that stone unturned. I've never I'll take a back step here, I won't go and do that session. I'm not that guy. I get in, I do everything I have to do to be as professional as I can be to get in here, put on those performances. I'm the best middleweight in Ireland by a fucking distance.
It was really interesting, actually, speaking to you beforehand, the mindset that you were in, that there was this very thin line that you pictured between entitlement and the required confidence of actually going out and winning. Was there ever a point after what happened last year that confidence was chipped away? Was that confidence real going into that fight?
Yeah, definitely. The confidence was real. And was my confidence chipped away? No, but it was challenged. And I had to respond to that. And I had to get into myself to respond to that, if you know what I mean. As in, who are you? And why are you who you are? Why are you that? So that felt like it was being challenged. And I always told myself as, you're the best middleweight in Ireland, you're an ass whooper, you're going to be Bellator middleweight champion. I lost my first fight in Bellator. That's not a good start. So, get on that now. Prove it, go out there and smash it, I've done the work. That, I've said that there. But it's the reality, as in, I've done what it takes to be the person I am. So go out and show that,
Talk to us a little bit about that, being the best Irish middleweight. What's the distance between you and the rest?
I'd say it's considerable enough, But the main thing is, none of the other lads around seem to want to do it. So I've had plenty of fights lined up where guys have pulled out. I don't want guys who are going to pull out anymore. So, get me opposition who'll show.
Yeah.
Not miss weight.
You're thinking internationally, though, I presume.
Yeah, of course. English lads, Americans. Like I said in the interviews afterwards, I'd love an American for the next one just to show standard over here, and I want to be representative of the standard over here. And in an ideal world, would the Yank come over here to fight? Yeah, we got an amazing crowd. It was an unbelievable atmosphere, so why not? How big a factor was that in terms of getting yourself hyped up, the home crowd? Yeah, like I was kind of thinking during that, like I walked down, I live in Fibsborough, and I walked down O'Connell Street to go to the fights, like to come around to the Tree Arena, and I was playing all the trad tunes and passing the GPO, and I was super pumped up, like. And then I would, like, when I got there, I was like, okay, just calm it a bit, like, you know, just don't be this emotional. But I'm kind of glad that I was, as in I really harnessed that energy that day, and like I kind of felt like I was going in there to defend what it is to be Irish and all this kind of crap. And I know it sounds like bollocks now, but like it worked, you know. And being at home and coming out and raising that flag up and the crowd going mental, it got me going, you know. There's no way that, like, you know, it touches something in your soul and you feel that, and like there was no way. I feel like it could have been anyone standing across from me in that cage. Like it could have been Gegard Mousasi. I would have been winning. Like the result would have been the exact same.
When you're that emotional before a fight, can you still stick to the game plan?
Yeah, because like you allow that emotion into your soul, but you're still clear-minded. So that's kind of the hard line to balance, I suppose, as in, can you allow yourself to feel that adrenaline, but still think clearly? And look, you're not always thinking clear, like as in certain points, you know, your primal brain is just taking over and you're just reacting to things. But midway through that, like even in between the rounds, you know, I was very cerebral of like looking over at him, seeing that he was broken. So I stood up 10 seconds early and started bouncing around in front of him just to make sure he knew, like, oh, he's fresh. This guy's coming back at me. Like things like that, like just observing what's happening around you. So stay in that mindset where you're clear, but you're also feeling the energy that's there, because that was some energy.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Like.
But also, that's not like everybody's had an adrenaline rush at some point in their life. You don't necessarily need to be a top-class sports person to actually feel it. And it's not easy to actually think straight when you're going through an adrenaline rush. Is that something you've had to work on?
I suppose you do it so much. Like, I've been in so many intense situations with this that it becomes, you're more familiar with it, you can think a bit more easily. It's just the training and the having been there before, having been there at amateur level, and, you know, having built up to that point, and you have a confidence in the fact that, like, look, I know what I'm doing here, and I just have to observe and see how it's going to play out, and like I can influence how this all plays out as long as I use my mind.
Well, like, that's the thing. I wonder, is there almost a sense in an ideal world that you actually don't have to think about executing, that you become such a skilled mixed martial artist that ultimately the adrenaline rush can completely take you over because your muscle memory will look after all the rest?
Yeah, that's the point of training, I suppose, and that's the point of drilling more than everybody else, and, you know, making it just that your brain knows exactly what you're doing in every situation without you having to think. So, like, I'm not quite, you know, constantly in observation mode. Sometimes I have to kind of go, oh no, you'd be better off being here, and move to that position. But yeah, the more you do it, the more your brain will naturally do it. Like,
let's talk a little bit about training, because we have some footage here from you training from your Instagram account. What's your Instagram handle?
Will Fleury.
Will Fleury. If you want to watch this back, give him a follow. This is November. Now watch the impact on the mat here.
Yeah.
There's your shoulder going. We're going to play that again in just a sec, and you can probably hear the impact of the arm with the mat here. Yeah, here we go. There you go. That's not great. So explain to us what happens there. What's the injury you sustain?
So I popped my shoulder back out as I throw that uppercut. So I broke my glenoid, and I damaged quite a bit of stuff around it as well. Like, they told me I tore my subscap tendon, but then other people told me I couldn't have been doing some of the movements I was doing if that was torn. Yeah, a lot of damage to the back of the shoulder joint, basically. And I was told, like, surgery 6 to 9 months out. Best case scenario, 6 to 9 months out. Possibly a hell of a lot more rehab. But I had a couple of physios who I was working with who I had serious faith in, and they were telling me, no, look, it's possible to rehab this.
That's mad that there's such a difference between prognosis.
Yeah, but I suppose, like, I've had plenty of injuries like that where one person will tell you you're absolutely screwed, and the other guy will go, no, you can work around this. And it's just who you have faith in, I suppose.
Was it painful?
Yeah, well, like, yeah, look, you know, it's the first few weeks are always going to be painful and anything like that, but the rehab stuff is more just painfully tedious in the fact that you're going in, spending an hour and a half every day doing the same thing, basically, like, and, you know, none of it feels particularly hard, or none of it gets you particularly pumped up. You just have to go in and do it.
What is that? What are you doing every day?
Different things at times, but, like, mainly just strengthening the back of the shoulder, making sure all my rotator cuff muscles are working properly.
So it's just stretches?
Stretch and strengthening, like, you know, external rotation, internal rotation, even like kind of adducting the shoulder back and keeping the shoulder blade kind of tucked in. Like, I've kind of winged scapula in a little bit, so a lot of it is kind of getting those to tuck properly and just, shaping the body to be exactly the way it needs to be to heal properly, and then developing the strength and stability in that area again.
Right. It's interesting. Like, so what I can't get over is that you can get to that place where it's manageable, where you can strengthen that, where you can get under that recovery, but then also to get into the octagon, whatever it was, 3 months after the injury, 4 months after the injury, is remarkable, really. And like
3 months in a week, yeah.
And to not feel, did you feel pain against Sean Taylor?
No, the adrenaline takes care of all of that, like, and the joint has healed remarkably well. Like, I'm kind of pretty pleased myself with how well it's gone, like, because I had a lot of belief in the fact that I could make this okay. And looking back, I'm kind of like, how did you have so much faith that it was just going to be grand? Because I didn't really worry that much. As soon as I made the decision to not get surgery, I was like, no, this will be fine. I know it will. And even like the first week I was back properly doing a little bit of training, I sustained another little injury. Right. It seemed quite serious at the time. And even with that, like, I was like, no, it's going to be okay. And that was only 4 or 5 weeks out from the fight, like. But I just had this feeling of, no, it's all going to work out and you're going to be grand. And
how is it now?
It's fine, yeah. Like, as in, look, it's incredible. Like, it's probably physically stronger than my other shoulder. There are moments, like, where I'd be turning the steering wheel in the car and stuff, and I just feel a little bit like, whoa, something's happened there. But it's grand. Yeah. Like, I didn't feel it at all in the fight.
The big question now really is what happens next? What happens in your own career next? Have you got your eye on a potential opponent or a potential date?
That's the exciting thing. Like, I just smashed a guy who's 8-1 and wasn't even a close fight. I'm hoping to get on that London card. You know, I'd like to make a statement on that card as well. And then there's Dublin again in September. And if they know what's good for them, they'll have me on the main card for that one. Like, so yeah, it's all exciting stuff coming. Like,
is there any particular opponents that you've got your eye on?
Like, I called out 50 Cent in another interview there. And like, you need something like that. You need somebody who's going to get you to stand out a bit.
50 Cent certainly would.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you're a guy who wants 50 Cent, that people are going to pay attention. Like, but like, an American was kind of what I was looking for. Like, somebody who can come over and I can showcase European MMA against. Now, I don't care. I'll take anybody, to be honest.
It seems at the moment that Bellator is a place where fighters can be ambitious within. Stay in Bellator, be an extremely renowned, top-class MMA fighter. Maybe 5-10 years ago that mightn't have been the case, but I think that sea has changed a small bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you're a European fighter right now, Bellator is probably the most lucrative company you can be with. They're coming here, they're doing regular shows, it's going to be on Sky. You know, the money is there as well. They're owned by Viacom, and, you know, they're on Paramount Network in the States, and they're on The Zone and all this, so it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's probably, you know, going to start challenging UFC, especially within Europe.
In terms then, as a fighter for them, ultimately, I guess there's often been things said about UFC and their fighters as employees for the organisation and things like that. Are they a good organisation to fight for, to be associated with, Bellator?
Yeah, so far. Now look, there's tiny little things like not being able to watch the fight that frustrate me. But the main thing is, there's regular fights. You're getting the opportunity to go out and showcase your skills. You're getting paid. It's what you want. You know, they're the first company to come into Europe and really do this properly, like. And yeah, I'm extremely grateful for that. Like,
I said at the start, there's clearly a pep in your step. What's the dominant emotion right now, having had a couple of weeks to kind of savour that win?
It's joy for the first week and a bit, but that does fade. Like, you know, it just becomes then about the next thing. So like, I was in the gym on Monday morning, like the Saturday fight. Next Monday, I was in the gym looking for another fight, because you're aware, like, look, there's nothing now unless I get something else lined up. I'm just kind of training for nothing. So you need that buzz, you need that energy and something to focus on and another challenge ahead of you. So like, that was a big challenge, you know, and you're pumped, your whole life is dedicated to this one day. Boom, that day has happened. It was great, it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed the whole thing. Okay, now get me the next day. You know, I want something else to focus on, something else to gear my life towards. Like,
I asked you this question at the end of the last interview, and I'll ask you again now to see if your opinion has changed. Where do you see yourself in 12 months?
Like, I will be a Bellator middleweight champion. It's just a matter of how long. 12 months might be a little bit quick for that, but sooner or later. Nice one. Well, very best of luck with the next couple of months, and we'll see you back on these shores soon and obviously abroad. Will Fleury, thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks, Willie, man.